Joining us, I do believe, for the very first time is Mr. Roy Fletcher, political consultant from down in South Louisiana. We've all heard of that, and we've heard of Roy Fletcher, too. Hey, Mr. Roy, welcome to Kiel. How you doing?
Oh, thank you. I'm from Shreveport.
Yeah, and you live in Leesville. Are you in Leesville still?
I went to Woodlawn High School and graduated in 1969 with Joe Ferguson and everything.
Oh, my goodness. You and I are we were like high school contemporaries. I went to Jesuit about that same time. Yeah.
So I went to Southern Hills and Ridgewood and the whole deal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Roy, I'm kind of shocked by what I'm seeing this morning, that $20 million is going to be spent over the next few weeks in the governor's race. Who's coming up with all this cash?
It'll be coming in from Mars probably, all over the country. All over the country. I mean, it's
equal
gonna be
parts on both sides.
Equal parts on both sides.
I don't know how equal it'll be, but it'll be a lot. And when you get to 12 million versus 8 million, or 10 million versus 9 million, that's about equal. Heck, I can't add that high.
Mr. Roy, when you start to look at the amount that will be spent, and when you look at all these national political action groups starting to throw money at Louisiana, will you be able to tell who is the favorite by the amount, or to be more specific, how little money the national organizations throw at Louisiana candidates?
Possibly, but I mean, there will be calculations made by those PACs, and that will be based upon, well, do we play there, or do we play somewhere else later on, or do we play in Mississippi, or whatever the case may be.
Well, that was
so there's going to be decisions they make about things, but I will tell you this: I don't think that there's going to be. Look, this is a southern state, deep south. That was a very red state for Trump, and the Democrats won an election down here in 2015, and they'd like to hold this seat. I think that's very symbolic to them as well as very practical to them. They would like to hold this seat.
Really? So you think, despite the, I mean, people like that, people like you are, I would assume, privy to polling that I am not. So I'm thinking all these national Democrat, they're looking at the John Bell race, the governor's race, and they're going, if we're going to put like $10, $15 million into that, we think he's got a pretty damn good chance. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's what they are looking at. I think that's what they see. They got a fighting chance. On the other hand, I think the Democratic PACs look at it and say, we got just as good a chance. I think that tells you something about the race. I think it's a close race. And in the end, the question will be how well the campaigns perform and how well other people perform. That'll decide this election.
Talking to Roy Fletcher, political
Here's my
consultant.
point. Here's my point about that. Is that you can pour a lot of money into it, but at some point you get to a place of diminishing returns. We will get to that place.
Roy,
the money just won't really matter.
Let me ask you this, and I know you'll be completely honest, because we're hearing from a lot of people, these PACs, they can run these attack ads, and the candidate can say, that's not me, I'm not doing that. Don't the candidates really know what the PACs are going to go at?
I must tell you that no, and I'll tell you why. Because there are very stiff penalties for coordination. Now, here's what happens, so that you'll know.
Okay.
And that is that you can watch the candidate commercials, and you can figure out, based upon the polling you have in a PAC, you can figure out what the candidate is doing, what they think, how they perceive the race, what their strategy is. And then you can develop your own strategy that either supplements or contradicts or enhances that strategy of the candidate. And you can go to public records at TV stations, radio stations, see the public logs. You get all of that information coming into a PAC, and you can figure out what they're emphasizing, what the campaigns are emphasizing, where their targets are, etc. Plus, you got your own polling information, so you can figure out. So to answer your question is, everybody knows what everybody's doing. but everybody's not talking to everybody
Gotcha.
because talking to each other is not legal.
Last 30 seconds or so. Who wins this, and what's the percentage?
I think the governor wins the race in a very close race. I definitely think that he's still the odds-on favorite, and I had it at 46 in the primary. I called it right on the button, and I think this one's a 50, somewhere between 50 and 51.
Wow. Roy Fletcher, political
It's going to be a
consultant.
close race.
It's going to be a long night, maybe, huh?
It'll be a substantially long night. Yes.
Roy Fletcher, political consultant.
Let's hope the ballots get down.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay.
No doubt.
Man.
Thank you, sir.